Times. Garrett Haake starting us off. Garrett, thanks very much. I'm going to stick on Capitol Hill, joined now by Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Senator Coons, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
I want to get you to respond to Mitch McConnell from this afternoon, and it's this idea on the issue of witnesses. Here's his statement. You're going to hear it in your ear, and I want to get you to react to it on the other side.
Some in your conference have suggested that if Democrats are calling witnesses like John Bolton, they may also want to call witnesses such as Hunter Biden. Would you support calling Hunter Biden?
Well, I think we'll be dealing with the witness issue at the appropriate time into the trial. And I think it's certainly appropriate to point out that both sides would want to call witnesses that they wanted to hear from. So when you get to that issue, I can't imagine that only the witnesses that our Democratic colleagues would want to call would be called.
Senator Coons, what's your best understanding of how this is going to work? Because I'm a bit more confused now than I was before Senator McConnell spoke.
Well, Chuck, there's a tension between President Trump, who wants the Senate Republican majority to just dismiss this trial out of hand at the very beginning, those in the Republican caucus who are willing to stand up for an actual trial, and what I think will likely happen, which is a fairly abbreviated trial where we don't have new witnesses or new evidence introduced. Just a simple guideline I've been following and thinking about this. Trials have witnesses, cover-ups don't. And there are a number of critical witnesses who are relevant, who were timely, who were in the room for conversations with President Trump about his order to withhold aid from Ukraine, who really would be constructive to getting to the bottom of it, to getting to the truth that should be our purpose. The question that was just addressed there to Majority Leader McConnell, should Hunter Biden testify? I can't think of a basis where he is a directly relevant witness. Yeah. And every credible media outlet that's looked at this allegation has said there's nothing there. So if we're going to have witnesses, they should be relevant. They should help shed light on what actually happened in the Trump White House. And I'm concerned we're probably not going to get that, given what we're hearing so far from Majority Leader McConnell.
Do you believe the Hunter Biden ask is a red herring? That this is about not having witnesses? This is about creating a majority that says, we don't want the Hunter Biden spectacle, so you know what, let's have no witnesses.
Yes, that's exactly what I think it is. It's a distraction. It is a threat to create a circus. The idea here is that, they'll call Hunter Biden, we'll call, Rudy Giuliani, and we'll have just this steady cascade of characters who are, frankly, not particularly serious. Giuliani would be directly relevant because he was actually personally involved in this and is the attorney for the president. But I agree with you that the idea that there will be a spectacle on the floor of the Senate is dissuading some from considering witnesses at all.
Do you believe there's this storyline out there that says, well, the president wants quick dismissal. He doesn't have the votes for that. But do you feel like this is a bit of rope-a-dope where this is a public, it looks like it's public, but it's a way to allow Martha McSally, Cory Gardner, Susan Collins to say, well, they wanted to fully dismiss it. We at least fought to get it presented. You know what? No witnesses. That ultimately this is all a bit of a dog and pony show between McConnell, the White House, and his attempt to create an appearance that they're not shutting this thing down, whatever, at a minimum for those vulnerable Republicans.
Chuck, that's entirely possible that that's what's happening here. Majority Leader McConnell is very closely attuned to what his vulnerable incumbents need. And there's a number of Republican senators who are facing very tough re-election fights. I hope that what will actually happen is that as the House managers lay out the facts and the details, that senators who maybe didn't take this that seriously, didn't focus on exactly what evidence was presented in the House, will realize that this is a very grave matter. I know that's perhaps seemingly overly optimistic, given how partisan and divided the Senate is today. But as Garrett said in the brief piece just before my interview, senators who served during the Clinton impeachment have told all of us in my caucus that the gravity of it, the seriousness and the historic nature of it begins to weigh on you after several days. This is only the third time in our nation's history we have a president facing an impeachment trial.
Well, and there's some awkward timing here. We have now discovered that Russia has hacked is at it
That's
again.
right.
The company that's at the center of this impeachment trial, Burisma, has been hacked by the Russian government. Burisma does not know what they got. I feel like I remember in the spring of 16 when the DNC was hacked and they weren't sure what was had. Then a few months later, we found it in WikiLeaks. What do you do with this during the trial? And where is the sense of urgency that it's now, the calendar is 2020 and this is happening?
So there's a number of things that should combine to create a sense of real urgency here. Chris Wray, President Trump's own hand-picked FBI director, testified to the Judiciary Committee, and the Director of National Intelligence testified to other committees that Russia is determined to interfere with our elections again. They interfered in our 2016 election. They tried very hard in our 2018 election. This is the latest evidence of an ongoing broad-spectrum Russian effort to pick our next president. And it's clear who they have in mind, by the target and by the topic. So I do think there should be a heightened level of concern about not letting Vladimir Putin pick our next president. Frankly, I'll never forget the moment in 2016 when then candidate Donald Trump said on a stage, if you're listening, Russia, please get Hillary Clinton's emails. We now know that Russian military intelligence began attacking Hillary Clinton's email server literally that day. Why on earth would we allow our democracy to be undermined by another Russian smear campaign?
Very quickly, I want you to answer this political question that I'm going to be asking a lot of Democrats today and for the next few weeks. Why do you believe Hillary Clinton lost in 2016?
I think a critical piece of it was that there was the successful creation of the mistaken sense of a real issue around either her emails or Benghazi, that the frequency with which there were investigations and there was the allegation of some fundamental deep secret, some cover-up, actually helped undermine her attractiveness and credibility as a candidate, despite her demonstrable experience and priorities and values and policy experience. And I'm gravely concerned that that same thing will happen here again. John Kerry, a decorated war veteran, never imagined the Swift boat campaign would successfully undermine his record. We should not allow this to happen again.
Senator Chris Coons, Democrat from Delaware, a Joe Biden supporter. I should point that out. I don't think he's shy about admitting that, but also a senator there from Delaware. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming on and sharing your views.